Hi, I'm Riley Landry. It's nice to meet you guys today.
Hey, Matthew Poirier.
Nice to meet you. Thank you guys for coming out today. And now I'm going to start off with first showing you my student showcase just to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Riley Landry. I did my project
And in spite of that, I've been more pushed to help other people find their faith, and that's why I did my project on youth ministry. Is because when I grow up, I want to help younger kids around my age find their faith, and I'm going to Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College in the hopes to become a game warden, but also have a side job as a youth pastor at a church wherever I end up. And there I want to teach kids more about God and how good He is.
Hi, my name is Riley Landry, and I'm a senior at Woodstock High School, and I attend.
So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. The reason I chose this project is it started out in the summer this year when I went to the walk. It's just a church retreat my church goes on. And started out with my former youth pastor, talking to us about just different things, and I just felt the need that I wanted to speak at church. And so I started talking to him about it, and I was like, hey, Kevin, I have my senior project coming up soon, and coming up this year, and I'd like to maybe somehow speak at a church and maybe make that into a senior project. And so he's like, all right, yeah, I think that's an awesome idea. So later that year when school started and everything, I went back to him and approached him again with it. And he thought it was an awesome idea. He loved it. We started right from the get-go. We sat down, first meeting, we came up with different ideas to speak to kids, or whether to speak to a church or speak to maybe a group of adults, or we were just trying to figure out who to speak to, on what to talk about, or how to talk, or how to deliver the message. There were just multiple things that we didn't have answers to at that point. And I'll show you some of the things that we did throughout the process. The first thing that we kind of started out with is once we sat down and met with he just told me to get my thoughts on sheets of paper, and so that's what I did. And I started it fairly early. I wrote 3 different messages during this time, and we sat down in each meeting. We probably met once or twice a month, and each meeting we revised the messages so we could narrow down the options, hopefully to make it easier to pick on which message to give. And after the first meeting, I started message number 2, and then once that was over, I finished it, and I really didn't feel like I needed to start message number 3 because I felt like these 2 messages were very, very good, and I didn't feel like there was much of a need for a third. So he agreed with me, and so we just stuck to those 2 messages on deciding which one to do. While during this whole process, he gave me a book to read. It was called Communicating for a Change, and this whole book taught me how to be a good public speaker. It just helped me with different things, how to communicate to younger kids, how to communicate to other adults, just anything like that. And so this book, there were notes I took within this book that really stood out to me as a person to help me deliver my message better as a person. There were notes that helped me just, I felt would make the audience take in the message as best as they could. And one of the things that also helped me throughout this was my dad. He speaks a lot, where his job allows him to speak in public a lot to large groups of people. And so during this time, I would get up and stand up in front of him and deliver my message just like I'd be delivering it to a group of kids or a group of adults and whatnot. And so I did that, and he would critique me. I mean, he was probably the one that critiqued me the most out of it. He had some positive stuff to say about it, but he's the one that critiqued me the most and that said, hey, slow down, you're talking way too fast, or you seem a little bit nervous up there. And so that's just who really helped me out during that whole process. But so what we finally did, we came to a conclusion that my product needed to be speaking to a group of middle school students. And so that's what I did. And during that talk, I spoke about my life story. And during my life story, I told them that, well, what you need to know is that there isn't a lot of good things that have happened in my life. So I told them, don't look at all the bad things that have happened. Look how every time I've come out of that thing, whatever that bad thing is, I've come out a lot stronger. And that wasn't by the helps of what I did or anything, it was just all by God. And I think that's awesome. And they were very engaged when I was speaking to them. They weren't fiddling around or anything like that. They asked questions at the end, and they're just very, very nice. And I really think that it helped them out, and it helped me out as me wanting to pursue my career in youth ministry. That's all I have for you guys. Is there anything else that you guys want to ask? Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think the middle schoolers got out of your message?
So I think middle school is a tough time, as some of us know. And so with their hard times, that when they're going through these hard times, they can always look to God for help or anything, because He'll never leave their side. Yeah.
How many middle schoolers did you talk to?
I spoke to about 45 middle schoolers. Any other questions? No? All right. Thank you, guys.